I realize that a lot of people suffering from delusional thoughts or delusional mindset. We be so far gone in stuff that we don't have no clue how we get there. But once the smoke clear, you literally be looking like, what in the hell was I thinking? I'm smart. I got sense. Why did I allow myself to get in a situation like that? And it's because broken homes, low self-esteem, anxiety, depression. And anxiety and depression ain't got to look like you cutting yourself or whatever. It could be struggling to get out of bed every day, or not wanting to do your hair, or not wanting to clean up, or just dealing with people that you ain't got no business dealing with. And I think a lot of us have struggled with those things. But once you really are able to be to yourself, and God is able to you really able to let God, because God is always with you, even in the mess, because God allowed things to happen too to get through to you. But once you finally, and I mean finally, get your life right, get to yourself and focus, you'll be looking like, wow. Because in my case, that's what I do. I think about all the people that I mess with, all the friends and intimate, and I'm just looking like, man, what did I have in common with any of them? Like, I've been watching this one young lady on YouTube, and she talk about black male worship, and a lot of us black women suffer from that. We need to wake up from that, because we be struggling with that thing a lot. We don't know how to deal with it. We thinking that being black is king, and that's a way of idolatry too. You thinking that you idolizing your skin color and men and all of these different things, but you got to really look at what's going on. And I heard somebody say it, one of my life coach actually said that, don't be with somebody that you're not attracted to. And I look back, I wasn't even attracted to the guys that I actually was intimate with or talked to. It was just a moment that I wish I could get back, unfortunately, but it taught me a lesson. So, man, I should say fortunately, but wasn't even attracted to those guys like that. It was just something to do when you in a low spot in your life, whereas you dealing and dating people. You don't want to be alone, and you see people around you dating, and whatever. I could try to change them. I could try to love them through their pain. I'm gonna try to cook for them and sex them as much as they want. But at the end of the day, that's not what it's about. That's not gonna sustain you. That's not gonna hold you. The love of God is what's gonna sustain you and what's gonna keep you, because a lot of people are broken, and brokenness attract brokenness. Like, I think back still, and I know what it is now, a lot of the people that I was dating or talking to were broken, and they were attracted to me, because a lot of them wanted to save, but they saw an easy out. I represented myself as if I didn't love myself. And that's one thing I've noticed too. I used to over sexualize stuff a lot. I remember conversations I've had with guys, and I've had, I'm not a virgin, so I know what it's like, but I was feeling like that's what I had to do to maintain a relationship with these guys. And that wasn't always the case. So, I think you got to stand your ground when it comes to certain things. And if it's something that is a thing that's going around, it's always been around, but history does repeat itself with red flags. And once you know what your red flags are, you got to really, really take heed to those things and understand you don't have to put up with everything. You simply just don't have to do that. I think a lot of people need to work on loving themselves more. Because, again, I think back of all the guys that I dealt with, they hygiene wasn't up to par. My life coach, he get graphic with it, but it's things that you need to know, like bacteria and all of that different stuff. You don't know what these guys, where they've been, what they've done, who they did it with. And a lot of them do have a lot of feminine tendencies, so you got to watch that too. My gaydar be on 10 sometimes, because you could just spill it. And I still, talk to these guys knowing that, they got certain little tendencies going on. I've always had a thing with the super duper skinny jeans and the sagging pants. That always bothered me. I was thinking the other day, I saw this documentary so many years ago, and it was about this man that was in prison. He was called a booty warrior. And he said that's a signal, something of not, this not verbatim, but he said that is a sign, that's a signal. When your pants are sagging, when you in the jail, that's letting somebody know that you available. And he was basically saying it's gonna happen whether you like it or not. So you kind of got to give in. I remember the first movie I had saw dealing with that. It was called Lockdown, if I'm not mistaken. And this boy was so weak. It's like they smelled him coming. It was a bunch of white. It was a black guy. He was so. I cringe now still thinking about that, but I'm sure these things happen for real. He was so weak. It's like they smelled the blood in the water, and they like raped him the first day. He was so, oh, okay, this where you sleep? Oh, okay. He was so naive, like a female, and they just raped him. And then his whole duration of him being in there, and his whole duration of the movie, that's what they was doing to him. He just looked like a zombie, like a ghost, like a demon. They just completely took possession of him. And it's like those kind of things happen. So back in modern day, like now, it's like me seeing men, boys with their pants sag, and I mean they be so tight, they look like something. I wouldn't even wear no leggings that tight. So I'm just looking like, what? Why would you think that's cool with the pants sag? And it's like that epidemic ain't gonna never go away. I'm gonna keep praying, Lord, please let these men stop sagging their pants. But it's just a lot of men, like the one lady I was talking about was watching. She talked about a lot of black male worship, and a lot of men are feminine. It's something I pick up on right away, because it's something that I've always felt about a lot of men for a long time. Wow. You kind of feminine, and people try to do their best, but one thing I've noticed, the real person, the real character gonna show at some point. You know, that's even with me. You know, if you feel comfortable with somebody, you get tired of pretending, you're gonna show who you really are. So my gaydar or just somebody being fake, that's gonna always show. You know, but I feel grateful now because a lot of my time I spend with the Lord, and the Lord is helping me to rebrand myself and to get better, because it's helping me see a lot of things. And I'm just thankful for God's protection and covering over my life and over the life of my daughter and my family too. You know, I used to feel super guilty about not spending time with them or not answering the phone call. And God forgive me, but I just have to protect my peace. I don't want to feel obligated to do things. Because I learned a long time ago, I used to get so mad with my family. They didn't ever want to help me with my daughter. Like I have to like beg them almost. And it's not like I was out here being a prostitute, but I guess I was low key, but that's a conversation for another day. But I'm just trying to go to school. I'm trying to better myself. I'm going to work, and it's like my mom will be fussing the whole time. She'll do it, but she'll be fussing. I don't know what kind of witchcraft or what kind of stuff they'll put on my daughter, because you know that's a conversation for another day too. But it's just family, not family how it used to be. My sister, my older sister, who we all see as a mom figure, she finally let up and would help me with her. But it was always a struggle. It was always a struggle, and I had to realize she's mine. She's my daughter. Your family don't owe you anything. It's a story in the Bible where God told Abram before he became Abraham, you got to leave your country. You got to leave your father's house. And I never understood what that meant. I said, dang, God kind of harsh. But no, it be to strengthen you and to get you to move into another territory, into another season, because God wants to do something for you. We all got a purpose. God want to do something for you and something with you. He needs you for a purpose. And sometimes you can't do that under the influence of others. You got to be away from all of that. So now I understand that. So I remember I would always, come hell or high water, I'd be at my sister's house, my older sister's house, 2 to 3 days out the week, just all day, just chilling. We'll get food, snacks. Me and my daughter, Deja, had her own room, pretty much watch TV. I'd be over there, because we never really had cable. I was never really big on cable. Whenever I moved by myself, I didn't have cable. I didn't have those luxuries. Why? I could just go to my sister's house. But as time went on, you know, before the pandemic and through the pandemic, I was just like, you know, we can have this stuff at our house, because that's all we doing. She in her space, I'm in my space. We on the phone doing what we doing. She on her tablet, and we watching TV. We could do that at our own house that God is providing and making a way for. So why do I have to keep going over there? And they were in their feelings about it, and my daughter was too, because that was something that we did all the time. And I remember my sister called me. I was going to work that day, and I was getting, emotional about it because I had never really stood up to her, because we all see her as a mom. But now I'm at a point where, hey, I gotta let you know what's up. But I told her, I'm working on my relationship with the Lord, and that takes me to, I can't be around y'all all the time. I gotta see things for myself. And I understand that, and I know it was heartbreaking, because even my brother-in-law had questioned that too. But y'all got cable over there now? Because that's something we would always do. But looking back, they wouldn't really sit down there with us, and we wouldn't have like Bible study, or we used to watch stuff together from time to time, but not. It became far and less and less and less. So it was like, okay, we could just stay at home. We end up getting, before we got cable now, we had, a little Wi-Fi box from her school, and we just end up making it. And then I just said one day, during the pandemic, I believe, was it last year, I just said, you know what, I'm about to get us some cable. Is it pricey? Yeah, but it's so much more better than just going over there all the time. And I started noticing things more and more, and it's how I felt. And you should never downplay or discredit how you feel. If that's how you feel, that's how you feel. I'm big on hygiene. That's why I say, if you in a state of delusion, messing with people that don't have the same values as you, yeah, we gonna stumble a little bit. Yeah, they might not wash their hands as much as you. It's understood. But, you want to be cleaning up communal space, especially when the pandemic came around. We didn't know what was what. I lived with my sister quite a few times, and I was just always kind of like feeling in a state of discomfort, because my sister has been in the medical field for such a long time, but it's just like her cleaning stuff ain't on point. And I understand. I think that we all deal with a level of depression in my family, because it'd be so many tasks and chores that we need to do, but we be getting so comfortable. We just want to sit down and relax. Our mind be going 1,000 miles a minute, so we just be wanting to chill. So I started, noticing that and the stuff that she do, like, dang, sis don't even want to do this, don't want to do this, that, and the third. And I noticed it in myself too. That's why I said God is helping me come up out of that, because I'm looking like, okay, you got to do better now. You got to, this is disgusting. And it ain't that disgusting, but it's certain things be looking like, okay, now you gotta tighten that up. But as far as my sister's going, she still ain't there. I know I was visiting with her. I still get my mail there, and I was visiting her, and she just like been in the same stuff. She always looked like that. It's nothing. You can put on a cute outfit and just lay around the house. That's why even when me and Deja not doing nothing, we get up, we get dressed, we do our hygiene stuff. Even if I put my turban on, we just sit in the house for a few hours, then we step out. You gotta look like something. Wash your face, get your rollers out your hair, brush your hair. I put my scarf on, but it's just like every time I see her and him, they around it with the same bummy little clothes, and y'all just looking terrible. My sister always have looked tired. She's a dark-skinned woman, but she just always looks so tired. She just want to rest, and she don't want to do this, want to do that. And I've told her as of late, she said, well, that's what he like to do. Ain't nothing wrong with getting up just for a couple hours, 3-4 hours, getting out, getting some air, riding around, take a drive, get some sun on your face, go get a coffee and go back home. I did that all through the pandemic, and I like it, because it's just nice to be out. But, I pray that she get to that point where she can get out and do something for herself. She just looks so tired all the time, all the time. I miss them days when she was deep in the church. I used to like seeing her, with her suit on and sitting up there and putting a little makeup on, getting dressed. But we've all fallen back from that one particular church because we're not sure of what's the doctrine that's being taught. But that's a conversation for another day. But we just fall back into old routines because we're not really sure why we doing it. Should we be doing it? I looked at my wardrobe. I said, okay, I got to get some more jogging pants because all I really have is a few. But you just get so stuck. Well, oh well, I don't need to do this. I'm just gonna chill. But you know, it's just crazy how a lot of things. But I gotta stop saying it. It's just crazy. No, it's really not. It's just God helping you to see things. And sometimes you just gotta face the harsh reality of a lot of people and things and how you used to deal with them and how people used to deal with you. You know, it's me protecting my peace. You know, my mom calls. I'm not so eager and quick to answer the phone. And God forgive me. I don't feel like I'm harboring any unforgiveness or bitterness towards her. I just feel like I'm at peace with a lot of things now. My mom has left me messages saying, you know, I loved all of my kids the same. So what prompted her to say that? I don't even think I responded to that. But I'm just like, okay, well, she dealing with something. But I pray, God, that her and my family and myself, we continue to repent for our sins and learn how to do better and come up out of the witchcraft that we may or may not have been involved in. Because we all have engaged in these things, knowingly and unknowingly. That's a conversation for another day. But I don't feel like that towards my mom. I just been liking the peace. And I hope that she get right with you, God, no matter what. Because we not going to be all, when we stand in front of you, God, we got to answer to you, God, not each other. So I hope that she get herself right. You know, all of my siblings. I understand more and more our family dynamic of how it is. Everybody got to deal with their own issues and get help. You know, I have listened heavily to a lot of different sources, a lot of different churches, a lot of different life coaches and things. And I understand it ain't always been me. It's been me, but it ain't always been me on a lot of things. And I think a lot of us did not have a good upbringing. We did not have a good, our parents did not have a good upbringing, which causes us not to have a good upbringing. And it's just a domino effect. It just keep going and going. But nobody is trying to. I want to be the generational curse breaker in my family because it stops with me. It has to, because we all been depressed. My mom had a nervous breakdown some years ago. I got to get to the bottom of that because it's a show that I watch. And the mom had a nervous breakdown. They broke it down as to why that happened. But I want to know what happened with my mom. Why did she have a nervous breakdown? I think a lot of us suffer. My siblings and family, we suffer with depression and anxiety and all of these different things. We just prefer to be in the house. Because sometimes I got to pull myself out just to go get a coffee, go get something to eat. We doing the same thing every day, but we got to get out, get some kind of air. Because Deja don't be wanting to do it. But we got to do it. I just want the generational curse to be broke with me because it's just too much. So I'm going to get to the bottom of it one day as to why she had a nervous breakdown. That's mental health. You know, a lot of us going through it. My sister, second to the oldest sister, has always had issues too. She's dealt with a lot of different guys who have abused her in different ways. And it's just like, how do we get here? So I pray that God keeps his hands on me and I can help others. I want to be a light to others as God has been to me, because it's rough. People need help.